Hello everyone, and welcome to Strictly Java, and the first vlog I made. As you can see, I needed to learn a lot, such as to always hold the camera in the same direction, to use a microphone, and how to tuck my ears behind my COVID mask. Of course, what you are hearing now is in voiceover, as the original was in Indonesian. Apologies in advance for the poor sound quality, but it was my first vlog, and we all have to begin somewhere. And my journey began in Tanah Abang station in Jakarta. From there, I took the train to Rangkas Bitung, where I had to change train for the last leg of the journey, finally arriving in Kota Serang. Now let's look at the map to see where Serang is, and you will find it in the northwest of Java, in the province of Banten. As this vlog series is about the towns of Java, with streets named after them in the Jakarta neighbourhood of Menteng, you may ask why I'm in Serang, because there is no Serang street. But there once was, until its name was changed to Samsu Rizal Street, after the mayor of Jakarta from 1951 to 53. And this is a quick glimpse of Samsu Rizal Street today. Now back to Serang and its town square, where you will find the monument to the struggle for independence of the people of Banten. And this is where things start to go horribly wrong, because I don't have a microphone, the noise from the motorbikes is terrible, and there are roadworks taking place. But what I was trying to say was that, although there is no Serang Street, this town still holds an important place in the development of modern Indonesia. If you look at the book The Great Post Road, Dandel's Road, by Indonesia's most acclaimed author, Pramudia Anantatur, he wrote, "It was here that Mutatuli was inspired to write Max Havelaar." That is, the first book that highlighted the injustices of Dutch colonial rule. In 1999, Pramudia referred to the book as the book that killed colonialism. In 1907, Mutatuli's Letters and Works was on a list of 10 good books drawn up by Sigmund Freud. Mutatuli was the pen name of Edward Douwes Dekker, himself a Dutch colonial officer, the book based on his experiences. The office of Serang's regent, the non-urban equivalent of a city mayor, is well cared for and maintained. It is a typical colonial building of its time, this fine building erected in 1828. On the western side of the regent's office, you will find the Banten Provincial Museum. The building was originally built to be the home of the Dutch resident of Banten, the resident being the most powerful colonial official in the district. Construction of this building also began in the 1820s. In 2000, this building became the office of the governor of the province of Banten, before changing its function once again to become the museum in 2015. And here is the skeleton of an old rhinoceros. Sadly, there are only around 60 rhinoceros left in Java, and they live in the Ujung Kulon National Park. Nevertheless, the rhino has been incorporated as a symbol of Banten into the province's coat of arms. This is the oldest colonial building in Serang, now housing the Museum of the 1945 struggle, that is, of independence. Its origins date back to soon after 1808, when Dutch Governor-General Daendels destroyed the Surosuwon Palace, built by Sultan Maulana Hasanuddin in the 1550s. More of the history later. And, unfortunately, the museum was shut the day I visited. Now, if you're wondering what to do at night, fear not. There are plenty of nice cafes where you can while away the evening, listening to your favourite tunes. Such as a day. And if you visit during the rainy season, there are other cafes where you can hang out, stay dry, and stay relaxed. One thing Serang is famous for is debus, a fusion of skills that mixes martial arts with inner spiritual strength, Dabus dates from the 16th century and the reign of Sultan Maulana Hasanuddin. It was used to strengthen the fighting spirit of the Bantenese against the Dutch, especially during the reign of Sultan Ageng Tirtayasa. It includes feats such as burning the body with fire, withstanding stabs from sharp knives, lying on nails, and having bricks broken in a show of invulnerability. Unless you possess the correct spiritual, mental, and physical qualities, don't try this at home.
Kodo met. Langsung bangun. Oke, mantap, luar biasa, terus. Langsung.
And now I'm going to head 10 kilometers to the north, towards the coast and towards Old Banten. Here we're in the port area, which for a trading nation is the source of its wealth, and for the former Sultanate of Banten, this wealth came from its trade in pepper. With this wealth, many impressive buildings could be built, including the beautiful and iconic Sultan Agung Mosque, built in 1566 in a Javanese style during the reign of Sultan Maulana Yusuf. And now I want to go to Kaibon Palace, or...
Kaibon, kemana?
Ke Keraton Kaibon, oke, mantap.
Oke juga ya.
Oke.
And this is the Kaibon Palace. And here you can read a little bit about it. And it tells you that in 1832 it was destroyed by the Dutch. And if you're in Banten Lama, don't forget to visit the very impressive Chinese temple. Besides wealth from the trade in pepper, Sultan Maulana Yusuf wanted to support rice production. For this, he ordered the construction of an artificial lake called Tasikadi to provide water for irrigation. You can still visit the lake today and enjoy the cool air amongst the shady trees around the lake. But with the wealth came problems. On the 27th of June 1596, a visitor came that would change the course of Serang's history, and ultimately that of Indonesia. His name was Cornelis de Houtman, the first Dutchman to visit Java. Things did not get off to a good start. The Dutch wanted to land to get fresh water for their ships, but the Portuguese, who were already in town, were suspicious of the Dutch and encouraged the Bantenese to refuse. Furthermore, the Bantenese took some Dutch as prisoners and demanded a ransom in return. In retaliation, the Dutch bombarded the city from their ships before sailing away. Although the Dutch gained little from this first visit, on their return to the Netherlands, traders agreed to establish a company to support their interests in the region. The VOC, Dutch East Indies Company, was born. For those interested, it was also in these waters, although I don't know where exactly, that the first Englishman, James Lancaster, landed in Java in 1602. Our last destination in Old Banten would be Fort Spielwijk. By the way, the language we hear in the background is the local language of Banten. If you want to hear more of it, why not watch Uni on Netflix? Now, back to the history. Ever since the arrival of the Dutch, there was a pattern of Dutch intervention and interference in Banten. At the same time, with the Dutch in control in Batavia, they could dominate regional trade, so eclipsing Banten and sending it into decline. Then, in 1808, Governor-General Daendels, fearing the British would invade and try to take Java from the Dutch, itself then under the control of the French, wanted to build a road from the west to east of Java to improve communications and the movement of troops. This was to become the Great Post Road. Dandos ordered the Sultan, Aliuddin II, to move his capital to Anya and provide forced labour for the road. He refused, resulting in Dandos invading Banten, arresting the Sultan and holding him here in Fort Spielwijk before being sent into exile in Ambon, where he died. The chief minister of Banten was executed, and the palace of Surosowan, home to the Sultan since the reign of Maulana Hasanuddin, was destroyed, its rubble becoming part of the fabric of the then new colonial buildings we saw earlier in Serang. And finally, in 1813, the Sultanate was abolished. With that, my visit to Serang comes to an end. I hope you found it interesting, and you will watch my other videos.